today we're going to do a little different of a video today. We are going to discuss a book that was turned into a movie called Road. And what we're going to discuss is in the book, and I've read the book, I know you haven't, but you've seen the film, I've seen the film.
2009, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What happened that's made the earth this way? What has caused this? Because they don't talk about it in the book, they don't talk about it in the film. What has happened here? And we're going to discuss that. We're going to show you some photos, and we're going to give you our opinion, and then you let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Cormac McCarthy writes, "The clock stopped at 1:17 a.m. There was a long sheer of bright light and a series of low concussions." And as you see in this picture, which is illustrated in the film, it's very gray. There's no sunlight. He also writes in the book that all the animals have died and the crops are long gone. So what has caused the world to end up this way? What has caused the world to be so gray, so desolate, and just wipe out all the crops, wipe out the animals, and human population is on the brink of extinction? Here's another shot of the film, the father and son heading down the road, and they don't really discuss it in the movie. You see it, but it just constantly rains in the book. It rains hours on end. Sometimes it rains all day, and it shows a little bit in the movie, but and the water, the rain that comes down, they can't even drink it. It's because it's just a dusty air. At one point in the book, when they're leaving a house that they stayed in, they cut a shirt up. It's a clean shirt, and they cut it up and use it as a mask. By the end of the day, that mask is so dirty. It's just cold, desolate, no sunlight. I mean, what has driven Earth, or what has happened to the Earth that has put it in this position where it's very hard to just struggle just to survive?
All right, so you saw the pictures there. I gave you a couple of quotes from the book and from the film as to what they said was going on. Sheer bright light and then a low series of concussions. Let me ask you, when you watched this film, what did you think happened? There's no sunlight, everything is gray, it's
Right.
dead, there's no animals, no crops, nothing.
Well, the first thing I got to say is I thought it was very intelligent of not only the author of the book. Now, I haven't read the book, but at least in the film, the screenplay, if it was taken directly from the source material, the first thing he does, Mortensen's character does, is fill up the bathtub.
Yes.
In most films, you're not going to see something like that. It's a matter of survival. Now, the cause to that, I look at it one of two ways. I think it was either a asteroid impact, which caused the devastation. He says a bright light,
Yes.
which would have been the initial impact, possibly the larger asteroid,
Yeah.
and then a low series of concussions, which could be smaller asteroids. It could be possibly, we have so many things that are volatile chemicals all around the world. Nuclear power plants just going up. So I think it's either that, or there is a possibility that it was a nuclear fallout.
Explosion,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one. I mean, really, it is. It could only be one of two things. I mean, unless you really dove into the science aspect of it and said the Earth's core just stopped spinning or something.
Right.
And that's to me that gets a little in depth. And from what I read, the author, which translated into the book, and I know the author's name, but I don't want to butcher his name. He wrote No Country for Old Men and a few other films, or a few other books. I'm sorry. But he didn't want to take away from the characters, father and son, and them trying to survive in this desolate world. So you go into depth about what had happened, it takes away from the story. So I understand where he's coming from. My theory is that it was a comet, an asteroid.
Yeah.
Because nothing's going to wipe out the Earth like that and cover the sky up with gray. And basically, once you block off the sun, it's going to get cold.
Right.
And if it penetrated deep enough to the core, it's going to melt. It's going to mess up the core, and the core's not going to be warm anymore. So this way, he's saying the day is growing colder and getting colder, and just everything wiped out. At least in in Book of Eli, it was pretty cut and dry. You saw all the evidence of nuclear fallouts.
Yeah.
Say they tore a hole in the sky, and we're talking about doing a video on that, so I don't want to get too in depth into that. But this is it's very bleak. There's really no hope.
Right.
You know, it's not like Book of Eli where they're trying to restart civilization and
Right.
build things back up. This is once the food runs out and you don't find any water, it's over.
Yeah, I have to. I really think it's either that. I agree with you on that theory, or the nuclear. I mean, we know that a nuclear winter could cause that.
Yeah.
Could cause out a blot out of the sun for decades. Um, I I found it fascinating. I think it's a fascinating film, and I give credit to, like you said, to the author of the book, the adaptation to film, to make it deliberately ambiguous to where we're interpreting that what we're doing right now, but we're focused on the characters. It's the characters. It's the father and the
Yes.
son. But yeah, it is in regards to what caused it. I think it's a good thing that they left it that way.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say is too is, and maybe again because he purposely left it out and that's why they didn't say anything. If there was a nuclear explosion, there would be a nuclear fallout. Like
That's
maybe
true.
at one point in the book or one point in the movie, the dad would say, "We can't go over there.
Right.
There's
You're right.
radiation
That's
over
true.
there." So they don't ever discuss it. But again, they don't discuss anything. So it could have been just a nuclear fallout.
Right.
But we just don't know. But then again, that's just our interpretation.
Right.
Got another shot of the film here of father and son heading down the road. And as you can see in this picture, again, I mean, just everything is gone. I mean, obviously, there's no electricity, there's buildings have burned down, and you see smoke in the distance. There's a lot of fires that happen in the film and in the book, you know, and that could go both ways. That could go to an asteroid. An asteroid hits, it goes to the atmosphere, it catches on fire, and then it starts fires. Nuclear bomb goes off, or multiple bombs go off, and that would definitely cause all the fires, and that certainly wouldn't help. But what was the catastrophic event that put the Earth in this position? And of course, here's a shot of the film where they make it to their destination, which is the ocean. And there's a great scene in the book, and it's also in the movie, where the son asks the father, they're looking at the map, and of course, it's going to show the ocean blue. And he asks him, "Is it still blue?" And the father says, "Well, it used to be." But of course, when they get there, it's a lot of the same thing, very dusty, very gray, and very desolate.
All right, so you saw the rest of the photos there and the stills. You know what was going on in that world. Like I said again, it's so talking about all the trees are going to fall. There's nothing there. There's no animals. There's no insects.
Yeah.
You know. So I'll just ask to wrap this up. What is your theory on it? Are you in one camp solely, or are you kind of on the fence?
No, I'm on the fence. It could be either or.
Gotcha.
You know, the radiation could, but I mean, you've got a point. There's no areas where they're saying, well, we got to steer clear of this, and the few other people they run into, which is very few,
Yes.
they don't talk about anything.
Yeah.
You know, even Charlize Theron at the beginning of the film, she doesn't mention anything.
No.
I mean, is there a reason why she would? I don't know, but the fact is, nothing is mentioned. So I'd say I agree with you on part of that. I think it could be, but I also think it could be the other way too.
Yeah, my gut and what I lean towards, and I'm not a scientist. I just from what my interpretation of, I think it was a meteor comet. But as we've been saying, there is no definitive. They don't discuss anything, so it could be a meteor. And you could even dive deeper into the science of it. What if the core just freezes up?
Right.
The core
right.
of the Earth just stops spinning. Which I don't know what the repercussions of that. The Earth just stops spinning in general. And I don't think that's more or less true because you'd see clouds moving in the film.
Right.
So it may not be that, but it could be anything. But my gut is it was an asteroid, a meteor, because again, they don't talk about radiation or nuclear fallout or anything. So that would be the camp that I heavily lean towards. But again, that's why we do this. We're doing this for you guys, asking for your comments, suggestions. What do you think happened in this movie? If you haven't seen the film, I highly recommend seeing it.
Absolutely.
If you're a book reader, read the book. I read the book not 6 months ago, and the book's been out since it's like 04. So it's been out a while. Right. But yeah, watch the film. If you're a book reader, read the book. And let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments.
We're always looking for interaction from our viewers.
Exactly.
And, opinions and whatnot. And, don't be afraid to tell us, if we're wrong or you think we're wrong or whatever the case might be.
Obviously, yeah. Follow us. We got a Twitch. We stream live on there sometimes. Character on here, D-Lo. He joins us sometimes on there. He's got a channel. You want to check him out. It's in this channel as well. on our channel page. Check that out. We love your support, and we'll always leave a suggestion, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that junk, and we'll see you in another one.